Hi, my name is Jade and I'll be talking about constructivism. I'll start off with a quote. If you tell someone something, you've robbed them of the opportunity to discover it for themselves. I will be talking about my personal beliefs and you'll see how constructivism falls into those beliefs. And we'll also discuss the strengths and limitations of cognitivism and how you can apply it to the classroom. My personal beliefs are that all children are different. All children can learn. Teaching children is about setting them up for the skills they need for life, that trust and respect need to be given in the classroom from both student and teacher, that teachers are there to guide student learning, not to dictate it, that learning should be fun and enjoyable, and that community and culture are important when knowing how to teach students. Now, there are two main strands of constructivism. There is psychological or cognitive constructivism, and that is centered on how children construct their own learning process. Piaget was a major influencer in this and did much of the major research behind it. Although the social environment is important, it is more about the individual and how they are constructors in their learning. He coined many terms for this type of learning. One of them is a schema, and a schema is groups of thought that are used repeatedly to respond to environment. Assimilation was used to describe how students respond to new events using their existing schema. Accommodation was how children modified their existing schemas, and equilibrium was about how children reacted to events using these schemas. Social constructivism is more centered on the importance of social processes contributing to learning. It believes social interaction shapes and is essential to learning, and scaffolding is a major part of this theory. Scaffolding is when a more knowledgeable other helps a student perform where he would not be able to do so by himself. And this is known as the zone of proximal difference. Now, with this theory, learning is an active process, and learning should be authentic and real to be effective. It should also be noted that constructivism falls under cognitivism. Now, some of the strengths of constructivism is that children are active in their learning. Unlike behaviorists, which believed that learning was more a passive process, constructivism believed that children are active and contributors to their own learning. It works off what children already know. When Piaget spoke about schemes, he demonstrated that children build off these as building blocks to help further their learning. Social interaction and group activities are used to improve learning. Group discussions mean children are more engaged in their learning, and students also contribute their ideas in a classroom where they can learn from each other and offer a point of view that other students may not have seen. Metacognition is the knowledge the child has about their own learning. Over time, children take control of these mental processes. This goes into self-regulation and means more successful learning for the children. Some of the limitations are that it is a time sensitive. Constructivism takes a lot of time to construct. You have to understand each child individually, which is where Bloom's taxonomy was describing. You have to know the background knowledge of each child so you can build upon the knowledge that they already have. There is a lot of preparation and research involved. The nature of group discussions and group work also takes more time, and this means you have to be more mindful of curriculum requirements and meeting them as the educator. Another limitation is different students have different learning styles, where some may thrive off discussion and group activities. Other people need structure, and other students just don't have the confidence to speak up in a class and contribute to discussion, and this may see some students fall behind. The lack of structure may also be something that children with learning or behaviour disorders may struggle with. They may struggle to be in a group or just can't learn in that sort of environment. Now, using this in the classroom, I would encourage more group learning and group activities, group discussions. I really believe that authentic learning happens when students can learn off each other, when students can find their own answers and problem solve with in a way where they've come up with the answers and figured out how they got to that. And allowing children to experiment and discover for themselves is really important. I think this is the most authentic type of learning, and I think this is the best type of learning. This theory falls into my beliefs because I believe students are the center of their own learning. And in a classroom, the opportunity should be given to them to discover their own learning, to discover things. So thank you for listening to my presentation. I hope I've helped you understand constructivism a little bit better and how it can be applied to the classroom. And have a good day.